Hi, welcome back to my channel. So in our last video, we spoke about how to apply for a petrol pump dealership. But then after looking at the number of categories and the supporting documents, are you feeling confused? So here's a short video to guide you through the various categories of application and the various supporting documents which are required for you to fill your form in the best and the most correct way possible. So have a look.
So what are the various categories of application and the various appendix documents to be submitted?
Welcome. So today we shall be learning about the supporting documents and the various categories while applying for a petrol pump dealership. The first thing to note that the applications will be of two types, individual and non-individual. While talking about the individual applications will be of two types again. It can be a proprietor when the applicant is applying in his own name or in the name of a single person, or it can be a partnership. So please remember that even if you are applying in a partnership, you will have to apply as an individual applicant, and for that you will have to submit Appendix IIA and Appendix Xa. In case of a partnership individual application, each and every partner in the particular partnership agreement has to submit the Appendix IA and Appendix Xa notarized affidavit separately. Now coming to non-individual application. So what is a non-individual application? Let us have a look. So when we talk about a non-individual application, the non-individual applicant may be a government body or an agency. It may be a charitable trust which is registered with the Charity Commissioner under the state government. It can be a company which is registered under the Companies Act, or it can be a registered society. And if the application is as a non-individual entity, then the submission of Appendix IB and Appendix Xa becomes mandatory. The next set, if we are an individual applicant, then the marriage certification becomes necessary or mandatory. Appendix II caters to the same. In the Appendix IIA, the individual concerned will give a declaration of his marital status, whether he is married or unmarried or widowed. So if the person is married, then automatically at the time of the issue of the letter of intent or LOI, after the selection of the particular candidate, 50% partnership goes to his wife or husband. So in such a case, if the particular applicant does not wish to make his wife or husband a partner, or let us put it that way, that the husband or wife of the applicant does not wish to become a 50% partner in the dealership, then they will have to submit an Appendix IIB in addition to the Appendix IIA. Let us remember that Appendix IIA is mandatory because it is a certification of the marital status, followed by which, if the spouse does not wish to become a partner, an Appendix IIB has to be submitted along with Appendix IIA. But if the spouse is willing to become a partner, then an Appendix Xa, the same which was to be submitted by an individual applicant, has to be submitted by the wife or husband of the applicant also. Now let us come to Annexure 3. Annexure 3 is in regard to the land being offered by the applicant. So let us look at some of the important things which we should remember while offering land for the advertisement. First of all, the offered land must meet the advertised dimension after leaving right of way. So if our land has a particular right of way, then that right of way has to be left out, and after that the remaining portion of the land should meet the advertised dimensions desired by the particular oil company. Second, the offered land should not be notified for any kind of acquisition. Third, the landowner in possession of the offered land from the beginning of the ROW line. So, if we have an ROW right of way, then in between the ROW and the particular plot of land, there should not be a plot of land in possession of someone else, because in such case the approach and exit to the particular plot of land being offered gets compromised. Fourthly, there should be no land, including government land, between the right of way and the offered plot. Fifth, the offered land should fall within the advertised location. Definitely, a land which does not meet the stretch requirements of the advertisement location will definitely not be considered, and the application is liable to get rejected. And in addition to this, we should also check for the following: that there should be no high tension electric line, that is, having a voltage greater than 11,000 volt crossing overhead the offered land. And for sites which lie on national highways and which are being offered as national highway retail outlets, the offered land must meet the National Highway Authorities of India norms. Now we come to the land application types. Land application, as explained in the earlier video, can be of three types: Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3. Group 1 land application is when the land is held by the applicant himself, or the family members of the applicant are in possession of the land, or the land has already been leased out to the applicant by a third party before the date of application. Now there would be another question, that who are the defined family members? So the defined family members would be the spouse, the father or mother or stepfather or stepmother, brother, sister or stepbrother or stepsister, son or daughter or stepson or stepdaughter, son-in-law or daughter-in-law, parents-in-law, and grandparents, both maternal and paternal. So these are the people who are considered as your family unit. And if they are in possession of a particular plot of land within the advertised stretch, then the applicant is allowed to apply as a Group 1 applicant. Next we come to Group 2 applicant, where the applicant is not in possession of a particular plot of land, but he has a firm offer for purchase or lease of the land. So there's an offer which he has where a plot in the advertised stretch is offered to him for purchase or for leasing out. So those candidates can apply as a Group 2 candidate. And Group 3 candidates are those applicants who do not have any land in the advertised location. So at the end, if no Group 1 or Group 2 candidate is selected, then all the candidates are again considered as Group 3 candidates, wherein they are given a period of 90 days to provide a suitable plot of land in the advertised location. One more very important thing which we should remember is that the minimum period for lease should be 19 years and 11 months as on the date of application. So for the advertised stretch, the land documents will comprise of Appendix III, where the land details are mentioned and the ownership of the land is mentioned, and along with that an Appendix V also needs to be submitted, which is a sample site map where the advertised location, the offered plot details and a sample site map will be attached. Now let us come to the Appendix IV, which is related to the employment status of the applicant. We should remember that any applicant applying for the petrol pump dealership should be unemployed, should not be gainfully employed with the public or private sector. But then again, the applicant gets the relaxation that after selection, he can resign from his employment if he is employed, and he needs to produce a proof of the acceptance of resignation. So the Appendix IV is a declaration that the applicant is unemployed, or even if he is employed, then he has resigned and he has attached a proof of the acceptance of his resignation. Next we come to the reservation benefits. So while talking about the petrol pump dealership, we have the reserve category as other backward classes, OBC and scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Also, it is worth mentioning that the OBC reservation benefits are extended only to the non-creamy layer OBC category and not to the creamy layer OBC category. So if a person is an OBC, then he will have to submit an Appendix IIA, which is to certify that he does belong to the other backward classes, but at the same time to certify that he also belongs to the non-creamy category. In order to get the reservation benefits, he will have to give an additional Appendix VIIB to certify the non-creamy layer certification. In case the applicant is applying for a scheduled caste or scheduled tribe reserved location, then he will have to submit Annexure 6 to certify that he belongs to the scheduled caste or scheduled tribe. Now let us learn something about the combined category, the CC category, which is again of two types, combined category 1 and combined category 2. Again, combined category 1 comprises of two parts. The first part is defense personnel. So here again, defense personnel are allowed to apply in three subtypes. First of all, for defense personnel who have died in war or while on duty, their widow or dependents are eligible to apply under CC1 category, provided that they have an eligibility certificate from the Directorate General of Resettlement. Ex-servicemen who have suffered disability in war or while on duty are also eligible to apply under Combined Category 1, provided that they too have an eligibility certificate from the Directorate General of Resettlement. And able-bodied ex-servicemen are also eligible to apply under the Combined Category 1 locations, provided that they have an applicable pension or discharge order. Next, we come to the other part of the combined category 1 or the CC1, which covers paramilitary personnel, central or state government employees, and PSU employees. So, for paramilitary personnel who have been disabled, incapacitated, or died on duty, their widow or dependents are eligible to apply under the combined category 1, provided that they submit an Appendix IIA, which is issued by the concerned HR or the commandant of the unit in which the concerned paramilitary personnel has served. Next, central or state government employees who have been disabled, incapacitated, or who have died on duty, their widows or dependents are also eligible to apply under combined category 1, provided that they submit an Appendix IIA, which is endorsed by an officer not lower than the rank of the Undersecretary of the concerned department. And widow or dependents of public sector undertaking employees who have been disabled, incapacitated, or who have died on duty, they are also eligible to apply under CC1 category, provided that they provide an Appendix 8 from the competent HR personnel of the respective public sector undertaking. Next, we come to combined category 2 or the CC2 category. Here we have three subparts: outstanding sports person, freedom fighters, or primary agricultural credit society. So outstanding sports personnel are those who have won a medal in a recognized world championship, who have won Khel Ratna or Arjuna awards, or who have won a recognized national championship. Here it is worth mentioning that all these qualifications must be endorsed by the Department of Youth Affairs, Government of India, without which the application is liable to get rejected. Next, let us talk about the freedom fighters. Freedom fighters can apply provided that they have a Tamra Patra or a sanction order from the Ministry of Home Affairs to certify that they are freedom fighters. And if the application is by a primary agricultural credit society, then it should be a registered society, and the certificate of registration is mandatorily to be produced at the time of application. Now let us talk about the last category, which is the physically handicapped. A very important thing to note while applying for PH quota locations or the physically handicapped quota of locations, we must remember that the physical handicap must be endorsed by Section 2R of the Person with Disabilities Act 2016, and the person should have a minimum of 40% disability as per the Act. Again, physically handicapped candidates can apply under three subsections. If the particular PH applicant has suffered from amputation, blindness, or a permanent paralysis of the limb, then an Appendix IXA is to be submitted. If the PH applicant suffers from multiple disability, then an Appendix IXB needs to be submitted. And if the PH applicant suffers from other disabilities mentioned in the PWD Act 2016, then the Appendix IXC needs to be submitted by the applicant. One very important point to be mentioned here is that all these disabilities should definitely be endorsed by the Chief Medical Officer or the hospital in charge of a government hospital. So we hope that the video has been of some use and some information to you. Thank you.
Link to all the relevant appendices are given in the description.